Inquisitor.
We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with your
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
We shouldn't waste any time.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
So, you're Inquisitor Kadash. From the stories I heard, you are hewn from solid steel and carried 1,000 daggers. The rumors coming out of the Western Approach say you battled an army of demons. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
I can see many benefits to such an alliance.
Keep the image firmly in mind. We may see it materialize by the end of the evening. I am not a man who forgets his friends. My lady, are you prepared to shock the court by walking into the Grand Ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose, Gaspard. Finding him is my priority.
Are you serious? That is a grave allegation, my friend. A foreign power meddling now, of all times? I have no doubt this Tevinter is hiding within the ranks of the Elven delegation. They're up to something. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
Tell me there's more to your suspicion than the elves were acting dodgy.
That Ambassador Bria... That is, until my cousin had her arrested. If anyone in this room wishes Celine harm... I detest the game. But we're keeping the court...
Is that the Inquisitor? Don't be an idiot. How could the Herald of Andrasted be a dwarf?
Maybe he's just a servant.
Pardon me, dwarf. It was a gift from the Countess Montbelliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the...
Is this ring particular?
It's worth in coin. It was a gift from a member of the... She will never forgive me. Not even if I live to be 1,000 years old.
What's your game? Are you trying to convince... or just to gain importance by getting the Inquisitor to run a...
I assure you, the ring truly is lost, and I must find it or risk terrible repercussions. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know. Where could it be? Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this...
You are a trap. You have saved me a lifetime. Where could it...
Is that the Inquisitor?
It was. I had no idea.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
Foreigners!
Interesting.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
You will have a report on the casualties in the Dales. Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to... It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated.
I'll keep my guard up.
The game is like wicked grace played to the death. You must... When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire... You are safer in the Fade with the Fear Demon.
It might be a good idea. The bull in particular.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. And Raste watch over us all.
Gaspar never struck me as pious. He must think he gains a military advantage with the Inquisition.
I need to have this jacket let out a little. I need to have this jacket let out a little.
I heard the Grand Duke invited the Inquisition.
I had hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. It's such a pity the wing is sealed. I heard Celine was having the entire wing redecorated, but the timing is atrocious.
Why would she do such a thing now?
How could the Empress afford to renovate the palace with a war going on?
I heard that it wasn't renovations at all. The palace was damaged by Gaspar's catapults.
He fired on the Winter Palace? That's monstrous.
I had no idea.
How can they call this a vestibule?
Interesting. Boring. Boring.
I can hardly believe Gaspard and Celine are in the same room.
Grand Duchess Florian must have worked a miracle to get them here.
Waste of time.
If nothing else, the Inquisition backing Gaspard would make Celine nervous. You know how pious she is.
Good to know.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Kadash. Shepherd and leash of the wayward Order of Templars, purger of the heretics from the ranks of the faithful.
Remember to smile. It is all for show, my dear.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Madame Vivienne, First Enchanter of the Circle of Magi, Enchanter of the Imperial Court, Mistress of the Duke of Ghislaine, the Iron Bull, leader of the famed mercenary company Bull's Chargers, as the name might imply. Sir Callum Stanton Rutherford of Homley, Commander of the Forces of the Inquisition, former Knight Commander of Kirkwall. Lady Leliana, Nightingale of the Imperial Court, Veteran of the Fifth Blight, Seneschal of the Inquisition, and Left Hand of the Divine. And Lady Josephine Charette Montilier of Antiva City, Ambassador of the Inquisition.
Cousin, My dear sister,
Grand Duke,
don't waste my...
we will meet for the negotiation.
Inquisitor?
Lady Inquisitor, allow us to present our cousin.
What an unexpected pleasure. We will certainly...
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
Someone here is working for Tevinter.
To the uninitiated, the court is full of intrigues which might seem sinister, Inquisitor. But they are of little note. How do you find Halam Shiral?
You're in danger. End the ball. Send everyone away.
Inquisitor, we suspect that our court has overwhelmed you. You may benefit from a glass of wine, and some time to recover. No doubt you will find something in the ballroom to entertain you.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health? Do they... Inquisitor?
Josephine! Oh,
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriel.
Greetings, my...
Inquisitor. Josephine, is it true you found the red...
Yvette!
Everyone in Antiva City is saying so. Is it true?
That's not what happened at Theron.
Oh, that's quite enough, Yvette. Really.
Another It's true. The Templars have returned to the faith.
We can hope this is a sign of things to come.
Does anyone really think the war will end tonight?
The Empress does. Laurent was the love of my life. You remember my husband? Poor darling. Killed in a war with Ferelden. Perhaps we can...
And here we are. You haven't embarrassed yourself as much as I feared. Well done, my dear.
Be ready to...
Always,
I still remember the day they came to tell me that my second husband, Philippe, was thrown from his horse.
Did you just grab my bottom?
I couldn't help myself.
My third husband, Pierre, lost his life to Rosalia. I swore off marriage forever. Smile, Commander. You're so handsome when you smile.
He is just as handsome when he doesn't.
Maximilian swept me off my feet. It was such a scandal. A fourth marriage to a man almost half my age.
Are you married, Commander? I'm married to my work. Still single, then?
My dear Maximilian, it took 4 chevaliers to hunt down the bear that killed him.
You must dance with me, Commander. We cannot stand about all evening. I'm afraid not. Thank you.
Oh, sweet Gérard. My 5th husband fell to his death from the bell tower of the Grand Cathedral. To this day, no one knows why he was up there.
Can I get you a drink, Commander Cullen?
No, thank you.
You were acquainted with my darling Hervé, weren't you? I still cannot believe he was allergic to bees. We should never have put in that rose garden. They are such drab flowers. I told my 7th husband, Renard, never drink aqua lucidius on an empty stomach. 3 glasses poisoned him, but at least he died at Châteauen. Then my 8th husband, Nazaire, tragically crushed by a cartload of fine handbags. I'm still in mourning for my beloved Etienne. No one has ever seen such a violent tailoring accident. But enough talk of the past. Shall we dance? Pardon me a moment. Pardon me a moment.
Maker, that wine stain is never coming out.
What were they doing in the western approach? It's a wasteland.
Are you happy to see me at all, Josie? It may not have been wise to attend this particular engagement, Yvette.
I didn't want to come. Mother made me. At least Haram Sharal has such pretty gardens. They're so darling. I took out my parchment.
Not another book of poetry.
Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fighting.
I've an idea, Josephine. You should invite all the family to Skyhold for the summer.
You'd be bored the second you stepped past the gates. Skyhold is a fortified castle, not a holiday resort.
Don't you miss us?
Of course I do, Yvette. There's just so much work undone.
You always put these tasks ahead of us.
Well, I'll see if I can come home for your gallery showing. How does that sound?
Oh, that would be so nice. Do you promise?
Yes, I promise.
Oh, wonderful.
Is that her?
The only one to survive the Temple of Sacred Ashes, yes.
Inquisitor?
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the Dales?
Inquisitor?
Are all the Delanceys here?
Maker, I hope not.
Inquisitor?
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valroyaux.
Inquisitor?
Are all the Delanceys here?
Maker, I hope not.
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
You think she's controlling the minds of the court? That's powerful blood magic.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything.
Leave us.
Interesting.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
There must be something here. Good to know.
Guess what?
Good to know.
Well, well. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. Huh?
I didn't know the...
What else should he do with his... My niece, Flori... It's war.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
I can't imagine Gaspard being vitriolic.
The Grand Duke bears a grudge against the Council for... He's threatened death if they refuse him again. Collect... What backwater did you come from? Everyone...
I heard. The Inquisition was here.
You're too gullible.
You got anything that needs... Because the nobles keep messing with me, and this keeps up. I'm gonna wear somebody's skull as my fancy little mask.
Look at this with the eyes of a Ben Hasra.
It's a mess. Everyone's trying so hard. Makes it tough to spot the dangerous lies. Oh, but that couple of... The woman's doing one of the nobles, and the guy's doing 2 different servants.
What do you think of the mask?
They're no good as disguises, and they don't cover the mouth or hide body language. So, as fashion goes, I don't know.
Anything
They've got these candied nuts with some kind of spot. Nothing on the assassins, though.
Any interest?
Oh, shit, the nobles would... Wait, were you serious? Because if so, then... Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once we stop...
Talk to you later.
I'll just stay... Anytime we want to move on to the assassination, just let me know. I'll just... Anytime we want to move on to the assassin...
You don't want to be here, stranger.
He hasn't made the pickup. It's been hours.
You went into the servants' wing. Nobody's come out of there all night.
I'll tell Briala we have a situation.
I don't like
Did you hear what Gaspar
Nobody should
said
own
to
as many hunting dogs
Germain?
as he does.
His own uncle.
If I have...
Well, well. What's this?
The band is still waiting for their refreshments.
My lady! My lady Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important. The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
How can I be certain?
We 3.
They signify...
They are also extremely fashionable.
Funny that she couldn't give me the...
Oh, she could not speak.
Empress Celine is eager to...
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspar is defeated.
That's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for...
She looks forward to see... As soon as Gaspar... But we have taken...
Please.
Waste of time.
So, that was Andraste's herald?
The Maker certainly didn't choose her for her wit. Are all the Delancés here?
Maker, I hope not.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's sped up estate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
Even you cannot deny that the Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour. How can you condone that? They are the ones who should be brought to heel, if you ask me.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
Did you need something?
If I heard correctly, you'd like to stop.
We have had enough of the power. My steward will contact you.
Gentlemen.
Enjoy the ball, Inquisitor.
Good to know.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
I need to get back before I'm missed. I'd better get back to the party.
Faces talk even more. Silk on satin on skin, always wanting, chaste but chaste, too many.
Are you all right, Cole?
They have faces inside their faces, lying with a
Have you observed?
Cullen is afraid. They're hunting him.
What do you do?
A fallen fan can cut like a kiss. I helped until they made me stop.
Stay.
Socks get... They won't miss just a few. A fallen fan can cut. I helped and... Socks get... They won't miss just a few.
That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom. That would be the second bell.
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith, delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
If you want something, say it.
I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I didn't realize I was watched so closely.
All eyes are upon you, Inquisitor. Indeed, you
Such as?
Such as the unwelcome guest I recently found. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search.
You left Celine?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of...
What's your interest in protect...
If anything were to happen to Celine, there are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not...
Why did you kill the agent? He might...
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked. Why? I did not know from whence he came until I... What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
I may find the time.
Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound. What comes next will be most exciting.
I'm so glad Maman did not want to attend. She always ruins everything.
Not as much as you do. The Duchess has asked us to serve more of the ice wine.
She's going to empty the cellar.
Pardon me a moment.
Mistress Nightingale, what a pleasure to see you again. You look radiant.
Marquis, it's been far too long. How's your family in Valchevin?
No complaints, my dear, no complaints.
You must. Why would the Empress invite that elf again?
Did you see
Inquisitor?
Gaspard dance?
He and Celine aren't getting anywhere.
Did you see Gaspard dance?
He and Celine aren't getting anywhere. It's obvious.
Inquisitor?
Did you see Gaspard dance?
He and Celine aren't getting anywhere.
Did you see Gaspard dance?
He and Celine aren't getting anywhere.
My friend, if you're as delighted by the court as I am, there's a decanter of port around here. And it is always good navigating the intrigues, all right? Nobody's poisoned you yet, have they? Another... It is always navigating the intrigues, all right?
Inquisitor, we will be happy.
Their Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
Until...
Do take...
You must be Inquisitor Kadab. You haven't dazzled the court this evening, but at least you've avoided embarrassing. What brings you to me? Another... Inquisitor, something on your mind?
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight.
I would love to hear about your time in Capua. Another time, perhaps.
Pardon me a moment.
Do you enjoy music, Commander?
Everyone enjoys music, madam.
Commander, has anyone ever told you that you have the most remarkable eyes?
Several times this evening, actually.
Look at Lady Cambien. And those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. I found the there a little more dirt. If you find more, let me. I always.
Another time, perhaps?
Who was that Inquisition officer over there?
Where are Alban and Colette?
Who cares? Is that Marquis Etienne? He's fiendishly handsome. Is that the Inquisitor?
Do you think she's pretty? Ah, there's the Dowager. Don't make eye contact.
She wouldn't want to speak with a nobody like you anyway, cow.
Did you say Gaspard dance?
He and Celine aren't getting anywhere.
Revered Mother Lucille of the Chantry of Arlezan.
This could be worth checking out.
Breath painful, stabbing, and then real stabbing. Lungs full, frothing, scent of apples as it all goes black.
Must be the elves Briala's people are looking for. Let's look around. This was no servant. What was he doing here?
This man was a council of Herald's emissary. Curious to find him here.
Is that Gaspard's family crest on the hilt of that dagger? Time to have a word with the Duke.
No! No!
Venatori agents! The Venatori were watching this approach. They're organized.
Fancy meeting you here. Shouldn't you be dancing, Inquisitor? What will the nobility say?
Aren't you supposed to be negotiating, Ambassador?
Welcome to the Imperial Court, friend. This is our diplomacy at work. You clean this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
He was dead when I arrived.
I expected as much. You may have arrived with the Grand Duke. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
He can try, but I'll stop him.
I wish you luck. Better than luck? I wish you success. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
What do I have to give you in exchange?
A moment. I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, eat.
This is great. Even the elves are trying to bribe you.
It's the game, my dear. Everyone plays it here.
There must be something here. That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Inquisitor Kadash. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Is there something I can do for you?
Indeed you. I believe tonight you and I are both Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Very well.
I'd be delighted. I've never thought the Carter could tell one human from another. Just how much do you know about our civil war?
I assure you the effects of this war reach far beyond the borders of the Orlesian Empire.
Perhaps it does. I should not be surprised to find the Empire is the center of everyone's world.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations.
Yet,
the security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
Do we both want that, Lady Floriane?
I hope we are of what...
In times like these, it's hard to tell
I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been... You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
Am I the curiosity or the
A little of both. This evening is of great importance. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
If I've learned anything, Your Grace, it is to...
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I thought dangerous machinations...
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming.
We'll see what the night has in store, won't we?
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing more often.
The Duchess had some interesting things to say.
Of that, I have no doubt.
Were you dancing with Duchess Floriane?
More importantly, what happened in the servants?
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
The Grand Duchess tried to convince me Gaspard is the
Floriane and her brother are thick as thieves.
Then, the attack on...
Warning Celine is pointless.
Then perhaps we should let her die.
I won't stand by and let her die.
Listen to me carefully, Inquisitor. What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celine alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
You're asking me to decide what's best for Orlais?
More than that, whoever controls the
You cannot stop Corypheus without a...
Then we should support Celine.
Because she led Orlais to...
I would suggest Briala.
This is, however, your decision, Inquisitor, not ours.
How should I support Briala? I assume she can't be Empress.
She can't. She can, however.
True. She could never control Celine, not with their history.
So Celine dies and Gaspard takes the throne. Briala would need a way to...
What did Duchess Floriane...
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the Royal Wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead.
Then get me access, and then...
At once.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valoyau. It's been too long since I've had any word from Valoyau. Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fade by Andraste?
Inquisitor?
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valoyau. Pardon me a moment. Lady Inquisitor.
Would you care to dance?
You, Inquisitor, are a deep... But you have other dances to perform first. Perhaps...
I'd like...
Let's... At least it should be a meal. Too few...
Good.
Pardon me a moment.
Interesting.
Did you see that knife-eared servant girl in the kitchen? The ginger.
Keep talking. I am starting to believe I was there.
I need to get one of those.
Don't we all?
Milady?
Carry on.
Milady?
Carry on.
Is it true what they say? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
I'd wager I have better tales.
I told you.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
I'm curious.
They say the army of the Inquisition fought a desperate stand at Haven. As the battle raged, you faced down evil incarnate, and you cast down a mountain upon the ark.
Even if a tenth of that is true, it's a...
If you'd like, Commander Cullen...
Really?
You'd only be...
Philippe, the world is coming to an end.
You're right.
He does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
Threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Interesting. I had no idea.
I hope not.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the council of Pirates. Sure, it's
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the Fade by Andraste?
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the council of Pirates. Sure, it's
Interesting. Well, that's useful.
So, even Leliana thought this place was dangerous and you wanted to just walk in here. This party is looking up.
Thank you.
Are you all right?
I don't think I'm hurt. No one's supposed to be here. Briala said... Oh, I shouldn't have trusted her.
Briella told you to come to this wing of the palace.
Not personally. The ambassador can't be seen talking to the servants. We get coded messages at certain locations, but the order came from her. She's been watching the Grand Duke all night. No surprise she wanted someone to search his sister's room.
So this room belongs to Grand...
It used to. This had been her private room in Halam Shara, but this part of the palace was damaged, and the royal family moved to the guest wing.
What were you trying to find?
The message didn't say. I should have known it was a setup.
This wing is sealed.
Easy. The door was unlocked. One of the others probably handled it.
All sorts of people tonight are taking advantage of this wing being closed.
Briella probably knew it was dangerous and sent me anyway. One more I knew her. Now she wants to play revolution, but I remember. She was sleeping with the Empress who purged our alienage.
She probably did send you to your death.
If the Inquisition will protect me, I'll tell...
Go to the ballroom.
Thank you.
You painted Orlesian assholes! When I get out of this, I'll butcher you like the pigs you are!
Duke Gaspard wants another bottle of brandy. We'd better have 2 or 3 at the ready.
Pardon me a moment.
Ugh. So many crimes of fashion.
You spoke of Lady Cambien's...
Everyone. These are all useful questions.
Pardon me a moment. Pardon me a moment. Pardon me a moment.
Where is that lazy elf? I sent him down to the cellar for more wine hours ago.
Duke Gaspard wants another bottle of brandy. We'd better have 2 or 3 at the ready.
Inquisitor was handed out of the Fade by Andraste? Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fade by Andraste?
Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could...
Where is that lazy elf? I sent him...
I cannot believe you danced 4 times with Cyril de Montfort.
Inquisitor, what a pleasure. I wasn't certain you'd attend. You're such a challenge to read. I had no idea if you'd taken my bait.
Spare me the repartee and tell me why you're here.
Such manners. Did they raise you in a sty? It was kind of you to walk into my trap so willingly. I was so tired of your meddling. Corypheus insisted that the Empress die tonight, and I would hate to disappoint him.
Why kill the Empress? What does Corypheus...
Celine's death is a stepping stone. Corypheus will enter the... We will cast down your useless maker and usher in a...
Your Orlesian royalty.
You think so small, Inquisitor. I admit, I will relish the...
What exactly is...
the what? I'll deliver the entire... When he has ascended to godhood, I will rule all Thedas in his name.
You don't have to go through with this, Florian. There's still time to turn back.
Oh, my dear Inquisitor, you are so naive. In their darkest dreams, no one imagines I would assassinate Celine myself. All I need is to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. A pity you'll miss the rest of the ball. Kill her. Bring... It will make a fine...
Andraste's tits, what was all that? Were those demons? There aren't any more of those blasted demons coming, right?
No more demons. It's safe.
Maker? I knew Gaspard was a bastard, but I didn't think he'd feed me to fucking horrors over a damn bill.
Duke Gaspard?
Well, his sister. But all that garbage she was spewing doesn't mean anything. Gaspard had to be the master.
Your accent sounds Ferelden.
Born and raised in Denerim. The Duke wanted to move on the palace tonight, so he hired me and my men. He had to offer us triple our usual pay to come to Orlais.
Want a new job? One that pays better?
You hiring? You want me to talk to the Empress?
Thank the Maker you're back. The Empress will begin her speech soon. What should we do?
The Duchess will assassinate Celine personally. Wait for her to strike, then grab her.
As you command.
Let all gathered attend. Her Imperial Majesty.
I should thank you. You played your part marvelously. Both Celine and Gaspard. The Council... The demons of adamant were not his only army. The Empire will fall. That is precise. Your death will be the crowning jewel of my victory tonight. So good of you to attend my soirée.
Wasting your time trying to stir the nobility against me. We are at war.
I hardly have to stir them at all. Your sister murdered Celine. Everyone saw it. You're a traitor by association.
What do you hope to gain, Rabbit? You can't claim Celine's empty throne for yourself.
Maybe not. But I can keep it from you.
With everything I've found on Gaspard, I'm sure Briala can effectively rule the Empire.
I doubt anything in the world, let alone inside the palace, could put the Rabbit in power.
This paper contains orders to your general about troop movements.
A precaution. As events have shown, my...
Ah, so you did know your sister planned to attack the palace?
We have your Ferelden mercenaries standing by to testify that you are going to attempt...
The Council of Heralds would be most interested to hear...
You've made your...
Don't worry, Your Majesty. You'll find you can endure them.
If the two of you work together, the Empire can only benefit.
Oh yes, a future of cooperation.
I'm not about to forget your part in this. The Inquisition will have all the support I can raise. I promise. The elves of Rolais have a future. for the first time in centuries. If only Celine, my people will find a way to repay you. I promise you.
You don't need to repay me.
I pay my debts, Inquisitor. But we're keeping our new emperor waiting. Go give the nobility the good news.
Lords and ladies of the court, it is done. This was not the end any of us would have chosen, but the civil war is over. We stand here as proof of the Empire's fortitude. Our enemies must learn that Olay shall not fall to treachery. We will never surrender our empire. We shall teach them the finality of this truth with steel. With the Inquisition, we will drive the demons back into the Fade. The Maker himself could not protect them from the wrath of the Lion.
Together, we will assure a future of peace and security, not just for Olay, but all Thedas.
Gather your soldiers, my friends. The Empire marches to war.
Here, at last, I find our absent hero, hidden away despite the efforts of all Orlais to find you. The elves raise glasses in your honor while the newly crowned emperor glowers. 'Tis quite the spectacle.
There's plenty of opportunity for that later. I wanted some air.
I had no wish to interrupt your breathing. By imperial decree, Gaspar wishes to offer any and all aid to the one who supported his ascent to the throne. So,
I had no idea you were in.
the assignment has been given to me. Gaspar never liked my attendance at court. Mayhap he feels the Inquisition a convenient... Regardless, Corypheus is a threat to Orlais and to myself.
What skills do you have?
I have knowledge. I suspect this is also true of Corypheus. Mundane knowledge will not bring the rift in the sky to a...
When you say knowledge beyond the realm of most mages...
I know many of... Should thought of that frighten you. Knowledge alone does no harm. What I possess, I place at your
First sign of trouble and you're out.
I am not joining you. I am a liaison. If you find that objectionable, you may indeed spurn your... Yet consider this. You battle a foe you scare. You need all the help you can. I shall meet you.
They ran out of that cheese dip, asked for more, and they gave me this look. The assholes. How you doing?
I don't know if I did the right thing, letting the Empress die.
Little late to take it back. Besides, you didn't kill her. Stupid dragon crap Orlesian politics did. Come on. The music's finally got enough of a beat to dance to.
I'd love to.
Good. They're out of food.
The matter is urgent, Lady Josephine.
I am well aware of that, revered mother.
We will need them to return to Valroyo as soon as possible. There are ceremonies, ordinations. Maker's mercy.
That's quite impossible at the moment. However, I will see to this matter as soon as possible.
My Lady Inquisitor, please, may I have a word with you?
How may I assist you, revered mother?
With the political turmoil put to rest, our minds turn to a single question. The next divine. We cannot answer it without the left and right hands of Divine Justinia V.
I have already told you, revered mother. Lady Leliana and Seeker Cassandra...
But surely with the support of the Empire, the Inquisition will not be harmed by the loss of just 2 souls.
Why do you need Leliana and Cassandra?
They were Her Holiness's most trusted advisors. They could rally the Grand Clerics to follow as no candidate from the clergy has been able to.
I don't understand. What is it you're asking of them?
We need them to serve as everyone with the political support to succeed Justinia. Those who remain are unable to gather the majority of votes from the... They have been deadlocked. Lady Leliana and Seeker Cassandra... Our late divine is still held in high esteem. To honor her, the Grand Clerics might support one of them as successor.
Leliana and Cassandra would have to make...
And they certain... The Inquisitor has only just You must excuse us. Don't let them detract. We've beaten his wardens and stopped his intrigues. Soon, Corypheus... Cullen is hoping to press our advantage. We'll plan our next...
Good to see you again, Inquisitor.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, Your Worship.
The fun never ends in Skyhold, does it?
Are all dwarves such comedians? Or just you and Varric? I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
How can you and Leliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor. Leliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy.
If they'll pick non-priests...
Because they don't know what you are, and they're frightened of you. A weight such as yours would break the Sunburst throne and tear the Chantry to pieces. I just don't know why they believe Leliana or I would be any better.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you of all people say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
The Chantry has failed, Cassandra.
It is disheartening that a believer would say that. Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
You're not the only candidate.
Leliana says she wishes to follow. Justinian knew Leliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers. We must be vigilant. But we must... That is what I would change.
Perhaps the Chantry needs more than just change.
You mean get rid of it entirely? I disagree. Without the Chantry, the faithful would be lost. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The cleric... For now, restoring all...
Have you heard of the new procedures? A hole drilled into the skull will... Good day, Your Worship.
Hold here, I'll sum it up.
Of course, sir.
Please don't call me that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my maker, you... Fortunately, you tied twice as many threads as cut.
There are problems.
There are always Although, if a few... I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table. And I... Of course. Another time.
Is there anything you need?
So, you're...
So I am in...
Is that something...
Why should what I want matter?
Why shouldn't it matter?
It is very simple. I have never believed in asking enough, so I look upon this as an opportunity. I owe it to myself and all of Thedas to seek the Sunburst throne.
There are other ways you can change things.
Perhaps. I may not have a choice in the matter if the Chantry clerics pick another.
Do you...
It seems that's hardly surprising. Whatever advantage she hopes to gain.
Do you...
We must guard Skyhold carefully. I trust all is well.
That's
another time. It's good to see you.
Hello? Hello? You haven't said a word since they got back from Halam. Future not so rosy? Thought you had both sides covered, that you were on your way back to court.
An elf. You don't know how undone my contacts are. Our history.
Yes, well, buck up. Odds are you won't survive this anyway.
That's actually comforting.
Just rumors.
Our heroes strode the winding road, defiant of the vile. Uncertain pause for home and cause, when met the monster's smile.
If you say so.
A man his kin, through blood and sin, a bastard of the gloom. A rising cut through bone and gut, an awful skyward blue.
Are you sure?
I think this one is simply not my style. There is an issue that you should address. Inquisitor, these youths of yours delight. A boon, and yet I've tried to capture them in verse. The day finds you of... Your worship...
Inquisitor?
What's the word?
Quiet. Too quiet. Inquisitor.
What?
Briala is pulling strings in your favor. It's going over as well as you'd expect. Inquisitor?
What?
Quiet. Too... Inquisitor?
What's the word?
Quiet. Too quiet.
You know I've got no problem with... At least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
You've got a way with words.
I do what I can.
Maybe we can find some other uses for...
Yeah. When is the next meal, anyway? What can I do for you?
How are we doing?
We're coordinating with your Legion military. The Venatori are still considered a cult in Tevinter. Even the Vince think these guys are crazy. If Qunari forces maneuver right, we're hoping to get... That should buy Orlais some time to get its shit together and push from the south. What can I do for you?
How are we doing?
Doing fine. Nothing new as far as I... How can I help? Kadan.
See you later.
Nice talk.
Inquisitor.
If you say so.
Inquisitor!
True enough.
One for the Empress, for Gaspard, Brianna, the Duchess, and Corypheus, right in the dangle bag.
You think all those people should be treated the same?
After Halam Shirel? Kind of. They all get little people killed and don't care. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a butt for the throne? A skinny elven puppet arse at that. Wonder how long before she forgets her poor elves. Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
We decided the course of a nation. I think it was worthwhile.
Right, Orlais will never be the same. Ugh, you know the most important thing I got out of all of that? Don't sleep with empresses. That's what that and Briala being an idiot. The whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
You don't think much of her, but Briala came out ahead.
Right, because that was all the plan and not dumb luck. Dumb luck named you. Watch out, yeah. The hole in the sky didn't start... Still going to be plenty of those after...
Yes, sir.
Can't wait, what's on?
Are things...
About time we turned around on this Corypheus whatever. Make him feel like... Again, with your people...
What'd you...
Leliana is pretty. And Cullen. I suppose if you want a jackboot, you... Love seeing you, yeah? Again with your people. Would you? Leliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her too. Or heard she. Now Joe's and Cullen. I suppose if you want.
Make her be with you.
Yes, sir.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
Or Legion nobles see politics.
Yes, but none of them ever...
I'll talk...
Goodbye. She's still behind the curtains in the reading room, watching the blood pool on the floor.
I'll talk...
Goodbye. I'm here. I can talk with you.
Your worship.
Can you...
What would you like to know?
How...
We have many in jail. Your soldiers have...
I am at your service.
What is...
We are groaning with resources. A reflect...
You're the Inquisitor. You're very short. Mother didn't say you were a dwarf.
And just who is your mother?
She's the Witch of the Wilds.
Kieran, are you bothering the Inquisitor?
I was just saying hello, Mother.
And now you are returning to your studies, little man. My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way. To most in the Imperial Court, he's simply a quiet and well-spoken lad, perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Will his father be joining us as well?
His father is dead. I have raised Kieran on my own for quite some time now, as was my preference from the start. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
He's not what I would have expected.
He's just a boy, Inquisitor. If he is remarkable, that is his father's doing, and not mine.
Oh, I thought...
If I do anything well by Kieran, it will be to inflict as little damage as possible. To think, until recently, this place stood decrepit. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world.
It sounds like you've heard of Sky...
This fortress was built upon... They called it Terrassa. It is said that from here, they abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
The magic in this place has... Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. I know you did not want... I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
I appreciate whatever help you...
Some might think Corypheus... Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. I understand you have spared the Grey Wardens from... 'Tis good of you, consider... Still, should a true archdemon one day arise, they will no doubt be needed. Or...
Now that you've seen the Inquisitor...
'Tis remarkable. Leliana has built a network of... all this in precious little time, conjured from... I wonder if Corypheus suspected what he was enabling, just as I wonder what will become of all this once he is defeated.
I have no idea what will...
Do you not? No doubt there will be... Beware the heights you reach, Inquisitor. When this is done...
I'd like...
Ah, yes. Whence comes the myth? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the chant. Then came the fifth blight with its dark spawn, and 'tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
It's odd that an
It confuses those who expect... I stand boldly before them and demand to know why I need some chantry maid. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
The Orlesian court seems like an...
That was the point. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the... Thus we fit together nicely. I became... The moment Celine perished, my time in court was done. I do not miss it overmuch.
You were in Ferel...
The blight began in the Cookout. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. He is the reason the blight was defeated. We became close. Closer than I even thought possible. When I left, he pursued me. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me.
Tell me more about...
I had him before I came to Orlais.
You sound surprised.
More than you can know. Kieran changed me.
I'll leave you...
Of course. I imagine your forces will be heading into the Arbor Wild. Trust me when I say that wherever the Illuvian is hidden, it is worth any effort to prevent Corypheus from acquiring it.
I'd like...
If you have questions, then ask. My Lady Inquisitor.
What work?
Currently, my efforts are focused on determining what Corypheus is. The elven orb I wonder if the power he used to tear open the... If I learn of its origin, I may also learn what Corypheus now intends, as well as his weaknesses.
I could use your company.
I have spent my share of time. Thank you for the invitation, but for now I will restrict my efforts to researching the arcane.
Do you know anything about his...
It has the appearance of an archdemon. A true archdemon, however, is... Has Corypheus actually dug up one of the ancient prisons? His dragon is something else, something connected to his blighted nature.
Is it even possible?
The Black City exists. The last time Corypheus and his cohorts stormed. This time, perhaps he might indeed gain untold power. It is also possible he could unleash some... So yes, Corypheus could succeed in his goal.
Corypheus says I'm...
Could you become a god? That depends. Are you prepared to use your anchor to enter the Black City?
No, never.
Tell Corypheus that, and see if he believes you.
We know so little.
Continue prodding at Corypheus, Inquisitor. Elicit a reaction, and we may...
I'll leave.
As you like. My Lady Inquisitor.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture.
They must be desperate.
It's much less flattering when you put it that way. If only being divine were as simple as looking good in a large hat. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
If the Chantry is a sinking ship, I say let her sink.
You may not think much of the Chantry, Inquisitor, but we need it. You think Thedas hates mages now? If the Chantry falls, don't you think the people will blame magic? Look at all that's happened. Kirkwall's Chantry, the war, the breach. Mages are always involved. Without the Chantry to guide, that hatred will spiral out of control.
It was the Chantry that taught people hate and fear.
If the Chantry led them to this place, it can lead them out of it. The people are sheep, Inquisitor. They need to follow. But this is a discussion for later. A message from Divine Justinia.
That's a shock. You're all right reading it.
Thank you for the concern, Inquisitor. This message was written months. Perhaps I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
Is this you asking permission to leave for a bit?
Well, yes. I can't... And I was hoping you would agree to come. One more thing. If what is... I shall meet you at the Inquisitor?
You seem to know...
I have made friends. And on occasion...
What do you...
I first met her when we were traveling with the... Morrigan can be a powerful ally. Work with her. Learn from her. Inquisitor?
Anything I...
There is upheaval in Olay. Our support of Ambassador... I'm quite pleased, personally. If Olay is in turmoil, they will look...
Anything...
Having the time... The people trust the...
The Empress has gifted us with a selection of... Can't talk, Inquisitor.
Marvelous business, the Winter... An Empress dead, an Emperor under your spell, and that elven harpy eating out of your... All this dancing, politics, and murder... makes me...
That's something you'd like to...
Watch as you twist an entire empire around... Of course, that leaves only Tevinter.
No.
Our dances are so much more intense. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair.
I should go...
Naturally. The Inquisitor's work is never done, I say.
My dear, I'm afraid I must ask you for help. There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
I didn't know you were an alchemist, Vivian. What exactly is this
It is a special request from a member of the Council of Heralds. I am. The matter is private. That is all there is to say.
You want me to risk my life to get the...
My dear, it is hardly proper. I would do no less for you, after all.
If I'm going to hunt down a snowy wyvern...
They're quite rare and exceeding... Ordinary hunters would not make the attempt. You, my dear, would certainly be an equal to this monster.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, my dear. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. I eagerly await... I always have time for you, my dear. I admire Cassandra's I always have time for you, my dear.
What are you...
Where the coal is a spirit...
I've chosen a buckle over with turquoise. 5 feathers.
You're so bold. I have selected simple shades of rose and a shocking parasol.
Oh, careful. You'll distract from the happy couple.
Impossible.
I do agree. But what if...
No date before the seasons and fashions change. Disaster.
Agreed.
So, he does. Then I wish you luck. The work you want to talk about.
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations. After our time in Halam Shiral, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
You miss court intrigue?
Oh, well, never directly, of course. An elven apostate is rarely... But from the Fade, I have watched dinners, and always. In any event, Gaspar should be a steadfast ally. Briala will keep him in check, and look after the elves.
I hope Briala is able to use her...
How would help... Oh, you mean El? I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Your people have lost so much of their history and culture.
I think of myself as me. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. As for the elves of Orlais, I believe Briala is doing quite well on their behalf. She is an admirable woman.
She's done good work. Hopefully.
Yes. However much I identify, or fail to identify, with her people, she organized resistance against a powerful enemy, using... That demands respect. And only see a pair... Inquisitor?
I'd be interested in hearing...
Perhaps you could ask Sarah. She has... opinions.
You don't much care for...
I pity her. Although I imagine she has a purity of purpose that I lack. What do you wish to know?
I'd like to know...
The Dalish strive to remember Halam Shiral. But Halam Shiral was me.
Arlathan.
Elvanan was the Empire. And Arlathan its greatest city.
You've studied ancient elves.
We hear stories of them living in trees. Imagine instead spires of crystal. Imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing.
I'd like to know more.
It is a mistake to think of the Dalish. As a consequence, each clan has learned, some trade freely with humans, or adopt city elves who flee the alienages. Others...
What can you tell me about...
The culture in alienages or among the slaves. They cling to memories of a better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
Is elven magic different from the
No and yes. Dalish, much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
The legends of elven immortality. Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No. It was simply part of being elven. Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger for centuries. It must have been beautiful.
You said that the censure against blood
I did. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. But as I said, magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
Every time I've seen blood magic used,
I once saw a woman stabbed in the stomach with a dagger. She died. If the Chantry outlawed daggers, would that stop people from using them? Some would use daggers in secret, ashamed, and some would find rebellion titillating, step down the path of depravity.
You don't need to sacrifice a slave's life to make a dagger.
I suppose it depends upon the dagger. How many men have you killed while fighting for the Inquisition? How many more? And if blood magic could help you? Well, it matters little to me. I do not use it, but I do not...
We'll talk...
Of course. To what do I owe the pleasure?
I need to know more about...
He has lost his army, and he has lost Orlais. He will need to demonstrate that no one in this world can stand...
I'd be perfectly happy never... It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing, I know what the game entails, but the indifference to it all.
We ended the stay...
In the Winter Palace, the clerics in Val... Chantry politics may involve less spectacle. Gaspard rules a country. The divine influence is half a...
Is there any...
My senior officers report that the Sol... Having the Imperial Army as an ally has bolstered their confidence. Of course, I'd wager our own recruits are equal to any chevalier.
Is...
Your plan is sound. We are ready to move on. I will see you reach the temple before Carif...
Is there...
Not at present. Who do you mean?
How...
The Inquisition. Cassandra may have declared...
Are you...
Our soldiers handled themselves well during this. More importantly, they relied on each other. Trust in your... Was there something you needed? Who do you mean? Our soldiers. More importantly...
You have to admit, it looks bad.
It looks like a lot of things, except what you're thinking.
It's obvious Halam Shiral is under the thumb of that elf. She used the Corypheus threat as her road to power.
And just trusted that our forces would show up before the entire place was slaughtered?
Maybe. If I knew how a plan like that worked, would I be here with you?
I'm not sure you know how words work.
unique issue has arisen. I am at your service.
All's well.
Want a drink? I've a hankering for company. When I was a boy, there were these urchins who roamed the streets near my father's. One day they found a dog. They caught it, tied a rope around its... Do you know what I did?
Not the fireside tale I was expecting, Blackwall.
Just listen. I did nothing. It was crying. I saw... and I turned around. I could have told my father. I just pretended it wasn't happening.
You said you were...
I was old enough to know the dog was... I may as well have tied the... We could make the world better. It's just easier to shut our eyes.
Nothing worth doing is easy.
Look at you. You would have done the right thing. Whatever you used to be, you aren't anymore. You're the Inquisitor. We're lucky there are people like... There's always some dog out there.
Inquisitor.
What's the word?
Quiet. Too quiet. Inquisitor.
What's the...
Quiet. Too quiet.
Inquisitor!
Lovely.
Love seeing you, yeah? Again with your people. Right, which one? He's too good, right? Like...
I should look around.
The Spy Master has confirmed it. Blackwall is gone.
Go on. Leliana knows where he is, doesn't she? She knows everything.
She doesn't know everything, yet. Sister Leliana had us search the Warden's quarters. Not much to find, except this. It was missing from last week's reports. I don't know what Blackwall's interest in this particular matter is.
First, this wasn't my idea. It is an issue born of titles and... Halam Shiral is having difficulty freeing trade routes formerly controlled. Had she been tried, her assets would be forfeit and considerable bureaucracy avoided. So they ask that we judge her.
This is supposed to make sense. I'm judging a box.
That was the time allotted for rebuttal. Her crimes negated any claim to... Forgive me, there is an odor.
I call for rehabilitation. The skull shall do public theatre about the evils of evil. I also judge the box. End table for orphans.
That's quite enough, Inquisitor. Point taken.
This is where a smith should be.
How bracing to be in the... They're worried, but until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
They don't see an Empress murdered.
I must confess, when Celine... How could the Empress of Orlais be taken in by the Duchess's plot?
Celine trusted me.
She trusted she... But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
Playing the game was thrilling.
With Celine gone, I don't... Although I do wish Varric would show a bit more restraint in his... I was hoping you'd be by. We've received letters from our... For both monarchs to come to us is nearly unheard of.
I assume that means they're both...
You're quite... Archon Redanus requests that the Inquisition, as a neutral... King Marcus asks the same, but demands we pledge allegiance to Nevarra instead of Tevinter.
What's...
At this point, elderly. Still, he is a Pentecast. Their dynasty is exceptionally...
As a...
With all respect to Sigar Pentecast, her interest in politics is best described as...
Why is...
He has little reason to love them. Few monarchs relish a self-styled god showing up to claim their throne.
Tell the Archon the Inquisition will do Tevinter the favor...
Very good, Yes?
What do the...
There's scarcely a noble house that...
Any...
Marquise Hedinel is here, but her grace sent her a...
Allergies...
Yes?
What do...
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't... Who did you mean? The command. Still, he does sometimes resemble the man with a hammer. He is allowed I do wish he'd stop daring poor dignitaries to outdrink. Seeker Pentagast is a princess of the Kingdom of Nevada, although that barely seems important to her. She was not interested when I asked. Still, the Inquisition would not have formed without custom.
It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state?
Ambassador Briala has not forgotten her debt. You may count on aid from Orlais.
And your actions at Adamant deny. With Orlais' support, our...
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
Perhaps they'll rethink following the Darkspawn man. Where is Corypheus?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
We strike Corypheus now. If he's hiding in the Arbor...
But what is Corypheus?
His people have been ransacking Elven. What he hopes to find, however...
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
The guards outside aren't for show.
I'm not here to amuse myself, Inquisitor.
Which is?
'Tis best. This is an Illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
Corypheus wants this, and you brought it into my castle.
If the Darkspawn could breach these walls, would he not have already come for you? I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds, untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead? If this place once had a name, it has long been lost. I call it the Crossroads, a place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
This place is extraordinary. How could this even exist?
Who can say? Formed from the fabric of time. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. As you can see, most of the mirrors are... As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but...
What do you mean, a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the alluvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others are closed. They can be opened only from beyond.
Opened how?
With a key.
I suppose you have such a key.
The key can be many. I have knowledge as well as power. Often that is enough.
Corypheus wants to come here.
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could.
And enter the Fade in the flesh.
He learned of the Alluvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon. Wandering the gardens, I see. If you have questions... Greetings, Inquisitor.
You seem...
The Dalish are not the only ones interested in the distant. Indeed, my skills allow me access. The ancient elves hold secrets they have not yet... Thus, they are my focus. Corypheus, clearly. My Lady Inquisitor.
Your worship. She did what to the Duc de Freyen?
He's demanding an explanation and a new stateroom.
Give him a room on the other wing. I will speak to him. And Sarah.
Any clues to his next move?
Some, but not enough for us to go on just yet.
work?
Let us begin.
Inquisitor.
Hello, Your Worship. Well met, Your Worship.
What?
The villagers are glad to have us. The villagers are...
No. Lord Camptill's new lover is an excuse for his absences when he goes to meetings with Venatori.
Reconnaissance will be harder now that Marquise Brianna is the shadow behind the throne.
Gaspard must already regret the alliance.
He should have died in battle. It would have left him happier.
What do you make of that?
You're a scoundrel and a...
Inquisitor.
Report.
Compared to what you must have seen, and all we've got are man-eating giant lizards. At least nobody's asked us to dance with them. Inquisitor.
Report, Cap.
Business as usual. If anything noteworthy happens.
Listen up, recruits.
Mercy, Pop.
You want something?
We need beeswax and ink. The captain keeps running out. Where's your other stock? The things you had yesterday?
Sorry, what you see is what you get.
Keeping busy? Be well. Good day, Your Worship.
Any news?
All is well, Your Worship.
It's just as I remember it.
You didn't tell me you'd been here before.
After the Blight ended, I came here to see Justinia. She was just Dorothea then, a revered mother. I needed her wisdom after the hero of Ferelden died.
It's peaceful here. You must have good memories of this place.
It was a place of comfort. It is good to see it still untouched by Corypheus.
Leliana, is that you?
Sister Natalie, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Val Rayo.
No, I've been here since Justinia died. This place makes me feel like she's still with us.
Inquisitor, this is Natalie, a trusted friend.
Wait, Inquisitor? You brought the Inquisitor here? My lady, forgive me for not recognizing you earlier.
I wish more people would fail to recognize me.
Oh, I see.
Natalie, listen. There is something hidden here.
Oh, really?
I don't know, but we'll find it. Justinia's letter came with instructions. They were a little cryptic. From a barren branch, that light has no fear of darkness. That one's quite literal. And morbid. It said that compassion was my greatest strength. It takes courage to trust. Do they still sing verses from the benedictions every Friday? That canticle was Justinia's favorite.
course. We'd never give up the traditions of our most beloved divine.
That is lovely to hear. I stare up at the breach sometimes. It's terrifying, but beautiful in its way.
It is beautiful.
Have you seen it by sunrise?
When the sun rises through it, it splits into what looks like 1,000 suns, like a broken mirror.
Yes, spectacular, isn't it? Looks like we opened something. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Leliana, stop! What are you doing?
I'm protecting us. They never sing the benedictions here on Fridays, Natalie. Something so simple. And you got it so wrong. Keep that pretty mouth shut if you must, dear. You've already told me everything I need to know. The prickleweed burrs on your hem, talking about the sun rising through the breach. It all points to a single place. Morel in the Dales, Grand Cleric Victoire's bastion. She sent you, didn't she? Victoire was always an opportunist.
Who is this Grand Cleric?
An experienced cleric. I suppose now, with Justinia dead, she thought she could make her move.
I want to know what this Grand Cleric planned here.
She sent Natalie here to see what Justinia was hiding, no?
The Inquisition has turned Thidas away from the true chantry. It must be stopped.
Stop us? You must be joking.
Mother Victoire is well loved by many. The Inquisition has more enemies than you know.
And Victoire thinks she can ally with them.
We don't have to be at odds, Natalie. You could come with us, join the Inquisition.
I was called to serve the Grand Cleric. I will not betray her. Kill me then. I am not afraid to die for my beliefs. At least I still know what I believe.
Release her, Leliana. She is no threat.
The Grand Cleric?
She is one woman. We are the Inquisition.
The Inquisitor has spoken. Run. Tell your mistress that she has a choice. The Inquisition is coming. No! This can't be it. There's nothing here.
Check again. Perhaps the box itself is a puzzle. She seemed the puzzling sort.
No, it's just an empty box. There's a message carved in the lid. The left hand should lay down her burden. She's releasing me. The divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out. 1,000 lies, 1,000 deaths. Her commands, but my conscience that bore the consequences.
She apologized in the Fade. She said she failed you. This is what she meant.
All this time, Justinia carried the fear that Marjolaine's games were trifles. She needed me. No one else could have done what I did. She knows that.
Then you have to let it go. Let her go. You don't owe her anything anymore.
If it were not for you, I would have killed Natalie and called it a good thing. Thank you for showing me what was right when I couldn't see it for myself. There are things that must be said, but not here. I will see you back at Skyhold.
Then the Maker said, "To you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame."
From all we've heard, it seems Chancellor Roderick changed his mind on the Inquisitor in the end.
Are you certain that isn't simply what the Inquisitor wishes us to believe?
Why would it matter to her? She has no need of Chantry approval now.
That's true. By Andraste's grace, what if the Inquisitor truly is, as they say?
We must consider the possibility, brother. It is prideful to believe we know better than the Maker.
Good show.
You are mad. It is barely adequate.
What is a seeker of truth exactly?
A sort of Templar, I suppose. Why do you ask?
Everyone's talking about the one in the Inquisition. I thought maybe she was a guardsman.
Lady Cassandra is more than that. I've met her.
Cyril Mornay, for your crimes against the Empire of Orlais. For the murders of General Vincent Callier, Lady Laurette Callier, their 4 children, and their retainers. You are sentenced to be hanged from the neck until dead. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Very well.
So we're just waiting for Blackwall to turn up, right?
Look at all these people. I thought we were more civilized than this.
They're going to kill him.
Proceed.
Stop!
A Grey Warden.
This man is innocent of the crimes laid before him. Orders were given and he followed them like any good soldier. He should not die for that mistake.
Then find me the man who gave the order.
Blackwall!
No, I am not Blackwall. I never was Blackwall. Warden Blackwall is dead, and has been for years. I assumed his name to hide like a coward from who I really am.
You, after all this time.
It's over. I'm done hiding. I gave the order. The crime is mine. I am Tom Rainier.
Can you believe it? Tom Rainier himself.
You must know so.
I know what everyone knows. He'll hang for the massacre of a noble guest.
Well, events have certainly happened.
Yes. Yes, they have. Your connections are as worthless as mine?
More so, I should think. I have only now stopped shaking.
An elf? Well, if you don't mind, I've affairs to put in order.
Will it matter?
Not a whit.
I didn't take Blackwall's life. I traded his death. He wanted me for the Wardens, but there was an ambush. Darkspawn. He was killed. I took his name to stop the world from losing a good man. But a good man, the man he was, wouldn't have let another die in his place.
Was the bailiff telling the truth? Did you really do those things?
Yes, I did. It's all true. It's time we all took a good look at who I really am. Don't you understand? I gave the order to kill Lord Callier, his entourage, and I lied when it came to those men, my men. This is what...
Would a monster have given himself up? Somewhere along the line, you stopped pretending.
Yes.
I need to know about Blackwall.
We met in a tavern when I was... We headed to Valchavan for an old ruin. I was to go down when he took a blow for me. He shouldn't have died. It should...
It was a heroic act.
I wasn't worthy. But without Blackwall, there's no proof that I've been... I couldn't go to the Warden, so... Rainier died.
Who were you?
I was a captain in the Orlesian army. One mistake. One mistake and everything...
I need to know the detail.
I betrayed the Empire and the man was General Vince. Sir he thought, I can't. By the time, Sir... Of course, Robert killed himself. Poison in his wine. Another victim.
You got your men.
They didn't know it. I told them, just as your men trust you.
I'm not forcing my men to come.
I cannot argue with that.
My reports say that Callier was with his family. You had them all slaughtered.
I didn't know Callier would be traveling. My men have been told to eliminate every... No one likes to think of it. No matter how leaders like Celine or Gaspard pretend the game is played, that's how real war is waged.
That shouldn't be how wars are fought.
War is unfair, but you're right. There was no need for what I did.
That's...
I have Leliana's report on Tom Rainier.
Let me guess. Our spy
It would have been difficult for anyone to... Even Leliana has something of a... Blackwall... Rainier... If he's released to us, you may pass judgment on him yourself.
If it were up to you...
What he did to the men. He betrayed their trust, and yet he fought as a warden. And the moment he shakes off his past, he turns around and owns up to it. Why?
I don't care about his reasons.
Saving Mornay the way he did took courage, but I can't tell you what to do.
Have Rainier released to us.
We must move quickly.
What do you think of the Inquisition now? Their fortunes have certainly changed.
It's still very dangerous to send wagons all the way to Skyhold.
Gaspard has offered incentives for any merchant willing to make the trip.
Please, move along. Really? I never heard that.
I don't have a concern about this Corypheus or what have you. The right hand will be divine.
A hard one, she. Set on the way things were.
So, perhaps you should amend your tone.
Really? Does she strike you as someone who'll suffer what you dish out?
You're telling me that the one in charge isn't the one in charge?
The game is fickle. In an instant, everything changes but appears the same.
Then all of this jockeying was a waste?
Oh, it seems so. And I've decided to go a different way entirely.
Is that good?
We shall see.
You built for them the golden city, the center of all creation.
You heard about the enchanter?
I've heard absolutely nothing while she's in the market.
Something you want? Guess not.